Hello everyone, welcome back to Info Science. So in today's video we shall discuss about the human eye. So let's discuss about it. So human eye is what? Human eye, it is the sense organ and that help us to see. And it is roughly spherical in shape and is located in the eye socket in the skull. And diameter of the eyeball it is 2.3 centimeter. And it consists of a convex lens that is made up of living tissue. So you can see here this picture of the human eye. Now let us discuss in details about the parts of the human eye. So there you can see here in the diagram there are different parts of the human eye. So we'll discuss one by one all these parts. So you see retina. Retina is what? It is the light sensitive screen inside the eye on which the image is formed. So you can see here in the diagram this is the retina and it contains the rods and cones, and these rods this responds to the intensity of the light, and the cones this responds to illumination. Then next is the cornea. So you can see here in the picture the cornea. So cornea it is a thin membrane and which covers the eye trill, and it acts like a lens that reflects the light entering the eye. So you can see in the picture where the cornea is situated. Then next is the aqueous humor. So aqueous humor it is the fluid which fills the space between the cornea and eye lens. So you can see here the aqueous humor. So it fills the space between the cornea and eye lens. Next is the eye lens. So eye lens it is the convex lens and it is made up of transparent and flexible jelly-like material, and its curvature it can be adjusted with the help of the ciliary muscle. So you can see here the eye lens. Next is the pupil. So pupil is what? It is the hole in the middle of the iris through which the light enters the eye. So you can see the pupil here. So from the pupil the light enters the eye. Next is the ciliary muscles. So ciliary muscles, these are the muscles which are attached to the eye lens and can modify the shape of the eye lens, which leads to variation in focal length. So you can see here in the diagram the ciliary muscles. So ciliary muscles they are attached to the eye lens. Then next is the iris. So the iris it controls the amount of light entering the eye by changing the size of the pupil. So you can see here in the diagram. So this is the iris. And next is the optical nerve. So these are the nerves which takes the image of the brain in the form of the electrical signals. So you can see here in the diagram the optic nerve. Now let us discuss all these parts again and also its functions. Okay, so pupil, you see pupil it opens and closes in order to regulate and control the amount of light. So this is the function of the pupil. Next is the iris. So iris it controls the light level similar to the aperture of a camera. So this is the function of the iris. Next is the sclera. So sclera what it does, it protects the outer coat. Then next is the cornea. Cornea it is a thin membrane which provides 67% of the eye focusing power. Then next is the crystalline lens. So crystalline lens what it does, it helps to focus light to the retina. Then next is conjunctive. Conjunctive it covers the outer surface of the eye. Then next is the aqueous humor. So aqueous humor it provides power to the cornea. Then next is the vitreous humor. So vitreous humor it provides the eye with its form and shape. And next is the retina. Retina it captures the light rays focused by the lens and sends the impulse to the brain by the optic nerve. Then next is optic nerve. So optic nerve, you have already got that. It transmits the electrical signals to the brain. And the last one is the ciliary muscles. So ciliary muscles, it contracts and extends in order to change the lens shape for focusing. So this is the functions of the different parts of the human eye. Now let us know how pupil works. So you see, let us take one example. So you would have observed that when you come out from the cinema hall after watching the movie in the bright sunlight, your eyes get closed, right? And when you entered the hall from the bright light, you won't be able to see, and after some times you would be able to see. So I think these things you have experienced it. So why? So here the pupil of the eye, it provides a variable aperture whose size is controlled by the iris. So you see, when the light is bright, the iris, it contracts the pupil so that the less light enter the eye, and when the light is dim, the iris expands the pupil so that more light enters the eye. So pupil opens completely when iris is relaxed. So this is how the pupil work. Now let us discuss about the power of accommodation. So power of accommodation, it is the ability of the eye lens to adjust its focal length accordingly as the distance is. And this focal length, it can be changed with the help of the ciliary muscles. So you see, the ciliary muscles, it helps to change the focal length. So you see, when ciliary muscles, it get relaxed and the lens get thin, the focal length increases. And when ciliary muscles, it get contract and lens get thick, then the focal length, it decreases. So this is all about the power of accommodation. Now let us know what is far point and what is near point. So far point, it is what? It is the maximum distance at which the object can be seen clearly. Okay, so you see, for a normal adult eye, its value is infinity. So the far point is how much? It is infinity. The value, it is infinity. Next, it is the near point. So near point, it is the minimum distance at which object can be seen distinctively without strain. And for a normal adult eye, its value is 25 centimeter. So we can say that the range of the human eye, it is from 25 centimeter to infinity. Now let us discuss the defects of vision and how these defects can be corrected. So the first defect is myopia. So a person suffering from myopia, or we can say a myopic person, can see the nearby objects clearly but cannot see the distance object clearly, and the image is formed in front of the retina. So we can say that in myopic person, the image is formed in front of the retina, and the causes of myopia are excessive curvature of the eye lens. So their eye lens, the curvature, it becomes more, and the elongation of the eyeball. So the eyeball, it gets elongated. Then this myopia, it can be corrected by using how? By using the concave lens of appropriate power. So you can see here in the diagram how the image is formed in the myopic eye, or we can see in the person suffering from myopia, and how after using the concave lens, how the image is formed. Then the next defect is hypermetropia. So a person suffering from hypermetropia, they can see the far objects clearly but cannot see the nearby objects, and the near point of the eye, it moves away and the image is formed behind the retina. The next is the causes of hypermetropia. So a person suffering from hypermetropia, their focal length of the eyelids, it becomes too long, and the eyeball, it becomes too small. So this hypermetropia, it can be corrected by use of the convex lens of suitable power. So you can see here in the diagram, so a person suffering from hypermetropia, how the image is formed, and also after using the convex lens, how the image is formed. Then the next defect is presbyopia. So this is the defect which is caused in the old persons. So in this defect, they cannot see the nearby objects clearly, and this is caused due to the loss of the power of accommodation of the eye. And as we know that the power of accommodation is, the range is from 25 centimeter to infinity. So in old person, this power of accommodation of the eye, it is lost, and the near point of the old person having the presbyopia, it gradually it recedes, and it becomes much more than 25 centimeter away. So in a person suffering from presbyopia, there is gradual weakening of the ciliary muscles, means the ciliary muscles, it becomes weak, and the diminishing flexibility of the eyelids. So the eyelids, the flexibility also, it diminishes, and this presbyopia, it can be corrected by use of the convex lens of suitable power. So you can see here in the diagram, the person suffering from presbyopia, how the image is formed, and after using the convex lens, how the image is formed. And also sometimes a person may suffer from both myopia and hypermetropia. So for such type of people, it requires the bifocal lens for their correction. So this is all about the human eye, and also about the defects of the human eye and how these defects can be corrected.